Hey folks, this is Rhykker, and what do you get if you combine Hades and Path of Exile? You get Hellclock, a roguelite action RPG. In 2 days, I've put 18 hours into this game. I cannot get enough of it, and I want to tell you folks about it. Now, we're going to thank Hellclock for sponsoring this video, but even though this video is sponsored, this is a game that's been on my radar for a while now, so I was really happy to get the sponsorship. Hellclock combines the rich skill expression and build customization and character progression of an aRPG, all that stuff that I love, with the fast instance-based gameplay of a roguelite. And since my audience skews very aRPG, for those who don't know what a roguelite is in this context, right? We're talking about a game where you have your character, you go into the map, you level up very rapidly, even faster than how fast modern aRPGs have become. Items drop, you're powering up, you're getting gold, you're getting resources. But then if at any point you die while going through the 3 acts and fighting all the bosses and all this, then your run ends and you start all over. Now, there's roguelike and roguelite. A roguelike has you truly start all over. A roguelite does carry progression over. So while you are starting with a clean slate in some regards, in others you are retaining progression. So at the end of every run, you're going to be more powerful so that when you're starting your next run, you're going to be stronger and stronger and be customizing your character more and more. So whether your Hellclock run has ended because you died, or because you hit a certain milestone in the campaign that just automatically ends your run, or because the Hellclock ran out, because that's the shtick of this game is that you're on a timer, your next run is going to be easier because your character is going to be stronger in a number of ways that we're going to discuss. And I'm going to state right off the bat, you can actually play in relaxed mode where you turn off the Hellclock if you just want to be a bit more casual about it and not have to race against the time. It's great that the devs gave us that option. So you can see here, at the end of a run, you can take a look at your stats, and looking at my stats here, you can see that at the end of this run, I reached level 20. These are all the trinkets that I got. They're giving me more damage, more life, move speed, and they're all different rarities, right? So I have rare versions. I have an epic trinket for the move speed. I got crit damage, crit chance. Now, trinkets are items that drop during play. These are not kept. These are just for your run. And because they come in different rarities, if you find a better version of the same trinket, i.e. a higher rarity version, it just replaces the old one. And anytime you find trinkets that are worse than what you have equipped, they get automatically converted into gold. And as you've seen in the gameplay, everything just gets zooped up, auto-pickup, no need for a pet to even do it for you. Now, another hallmark of the roguelite is that no 2 runs are going to be the same. Every time your character levels up, rather than have a fixed skill tree where you just allocate points, you are randomly given a series of choices to make. By default, it's 1 of 3. So these are cards, and they apply to the different skills that you have equipped, and they can modify those skills in different ways. The cards come in different rarities, so some are more powerful than others. So you're always making choices. Now at the end of your run, you get a stat screen. So we'll take a look at the stat screen here to talk you through some of the choices that I made. So sometimes you'll come upon shrines and you'll get to pick a buff, or actually you're buying the buff. And I'm stacking elemental damage, lightning damage, crit chance, and crit damage because I am a lightning crit build. I have 5 skills in my build, but some of them are more important than others, so I actually did not pick any upgrades for 2 of my skills. But you'll see here for my main damage dealer, which is called Double Knives, which is basically Whirlwind, I got skill speed, damage, and damage. I didn't get lucky this run. I really like to get increased area so that my Whirlwind becomes an enormous vortex. And then my other skill is basically the Hammered and Blessed Hammer, and I got skill speed, damage, projectile speed, and skill speed. So these are all choices that I was making when every time I'd level up, I'd be dealt a series of cards. Now my other skill here, this is a passive buff that gives me more crit chance and crit damage, and I can activate it as well to give me even more. So I'm upgrading it to give even more crit chance, and more crit chance, and more crit chance. Cooldown reduction so that I can pop it more often, more crit chance, more crit chance, more crit chance, and more cooldown. What you really want to be doing is find what synergies work best for your build, because the game gives you so many options and opportunities to find different skill interactions to create and customize builds that rely on different things, whether it's crit, whether it's going to be bleed. I'm looking forward to future playthroughs where I'm going to try a completely different skill setup. So what I just talked you through, that's all the stuff that gets reset. That's the stuff you don't get to keep. Let me show you all the stuff you do get to keep though, because there is so many different progression systems and ways that you're building up your character. And it all starts with, you got a shop in the game, you can buy items. So items, not trinkets, but items you do get to keep. So I have my revolver here. I got one with increased skill projectile amount so that my blessed hammers have more hammers. This is called a rosary. I have a ring with lifesteal, a ring with crit damage, hat with resist and mana, jacket with life and elemental resist, a scarf with endurance, because there's actually a number of different defenses here. So endurance is a chance to completely avoid any physical damage. There's also evasion, which gives you a chance to avoid all damage. You've got mana shield, and my main defense is actually conviction, which is a decaying shield. So you generate conviction, it gives you it's like an energy shield that takes damage before your health globe does, but it decays naturally over time. So I've really worked on my build to get me to a point where I'm constantly generating this, and it's effectively never running out anymore. My belt's got cooldown, my pants got cooldown, boots with move speed and elemental resist. As you saw, I've capped out my resistances, so, well, you know, physical is almost there. But this build is really tanky right now. And then on my amulet, mana, and yet more cooldown. Other things you get to keep, your relics. Relics are basically like charms. You have a separate inventory for them, and these do so many different things. You can fill in resistances here, more damage. All the red colored ones do something special. So this item here, the Tempest, this turns my whirlwind, right, double knives, into a lightning skill and makes crits send out electric shockwaves. So this was the crux of my build, why I'm building for crit chance. Then I've got this one here that makes double knives damage convert to life, so I'm getting life leech from it. Here, double knives doesn't slow you down anymore. Then I got the bloody thorn. Double knives is going to make enemies bleed, and that's because I've worked in some bleed interaction here with the spiked chains. Bleeding enemies deal less damage to you, so I don't really care about the damage that bleed is doing because I'm a lightning build, but it's turning into damage reduction. Then the Holy Rosary, right, the Blessed Hammer, I've got this, the Golden Chaplet, making the Holy Rosary orbit around me instead of spiraling out. And I've got the Bead Necklace to make Holy Rosary fire automatically just while I'm moving. So I'm never actually casting Holy Rosary. I'm just spinning to win, and they are shooting out on their own. Then my bundle of syringes here, whenever you lifesteal, which I got right from my Banner of Faith. Whenever you lifesteal, you gain a stack of Bloodshot, stacking 33% damage up to 10 times for my melee skill, so it's self-buffing the whirlwind as I'm whirlwinding. This here is giving me more skill projectile amount, that's working well for my Holy Rosary. This makes my whirlwind deal more damage but cost more mana, but I've reached a point with my build where I never run out of mana. Now that's not all, let's go look at the skills here. So here's where you unlock new skills, and I guess you can say apply skill points. It's not really the case. You can apply ranks to skills. We'll explain how you get skills beyond rank 1 in a bit here, but you'll notice that I have not ranked up all the skills that I use. So my max skill rank, my max skill level is 7, so everything that's dealing damage, like my double knives, like my Holy Rosary, I've leveled up to 7. But you'll notice my closed body, I've kept it at 1. And that's because I'm using closed body not offensively, just defensively. This gives me conviction. It also deals some damage, but you'll see if I put more skill points, it increases the cooldown and increases the damage, but does not increase the defensive nature all that much, or at least not enough for it to be worth the extra cooldown, in my opinion. So I'm keeping it at level 1. And again, it just goes to show that there's decisions to be made here. You don't just want to rank up all your skills to rank 7 because there are, potential trade-offs as they get higher and higher in level. But these are all the skills that you have access to. You could buy these skills. You collect currency on your runs, these purple runes. They are used to purchase a number of different things, including unlocking the skills. You're free to swap these between runs, test out different setups as you wish. So my build setup here, as we said, I got double knives, which is my spin to win. Holy Rosary is getting cast automatically as I move. I'm popping closed body every time off cooldown. That's giving me my constant conviction, that energy shield thing. Prayer of Vengeance I started using when I unlocked it. Originally I was using Shadow Dash as a mobility skill. Prayer of Vengeance, this is a damage buff, right? Passively, it's giving me increased crit chance and damage, but then when you activate it, it gives you even more. And then I use Judgment. This is going to reduce enemy resistances because all my damage is lightning. My double knives is lightning thanks to that relic that I have, and Holy Rosary is lightning by default. Now these relics, they're not just something you collect, you can also upgrade them. So you can see here, this one's rank 3 stars. I maxed this one out at 5. This is 3, this is 2, this is 1. And again, you're using that purple currency to level these up. But that's not all. You also have your skill tree. Yes. So you get a skill tree. You unlock more branches as you're going through the campaign. Pro tip, definitely, or at least in my opinion, I beelined for reliquary size as well as max skill level. I think those are two extremely important things to powering up at low level, because when you start off, you do not have all of these relic slots. You only have a few. And we've seen the power of the synergies that you can build with these relic slots. But that's not even the end of all the progression systems that are permanent. You also unlock constellations. This doesn't look familiar to some aRPG veterans here, but basically you start off in the middle and you're applying points, and these points are going to give you different devotion paths. So I started off by taking Faith, so that's blue, which unlocked this blue constellation here. Then when I put all my points in this constellation, it unlocked these other blue constellations. And so this is a very long tail progression system where there's just building up power and further customizing your character in different ways. There's some great roguelite games out there, but this one has really appealed to me because I'm very much an aRPG player at heart, and it's tickling all the things that I like in progression, both short-term, long-term. Again, I'm 18 hours in, and every time I do a run, and a run can be anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, I feel like I am stronger at the end of it in some way, whether I'm getting constellation points, whether I'm upgrading my relics, whether I'm getting more passive points in this tree over here, or all of the above, so that when I go in and do my next run, I notice the power increase. I notice the enemies are dying faster, and I'm able to push a bit further every time. Now, I am right at, I think I am at the final boss as of this recording. I really want to beat the game before making this video, but we're on a deadline here. There is a whole post-campaign as well. It's a challenging endgame mode. It's called Ascension. I look forward to getting there. As you can see from the myriad choices to be made here, I see a lot of replay value. Again, I want to try out different builds, and I'll make a quick note about the story. It's a dark fantasy retelling of actual Brazilian history. It's about the War of Canudos, which was a horrible massacre. So a lot of the bosses that you're fighting, they seem to be monstrous versions of, I guess, real historical figures. And because it's so grounded in real tragedy, the story really has heart to it. It doesn't just feel like generic fantasy story. And while there is English dubbed voice acting, I'd recommend keeping it on the default Portuguese. Just the voice acting is really good, even if you don't understand what's being said. Like, especially the old lady voice actress that you meet right away. It's the game's Deckard Cain, basically. So that's Hellclock, folks. As I said, I'm addicted to this game. I'm going to be playing it next week on stream. If you want to check it out, click the link in the description below. It's available now on Steam, just released this week. And that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more aRPG content.